And in relation to Richard, are there still any more questions that are unresolved here? I mean, you've dealt with two very big parts of his life and how he is remembered in a historical sense. Is there anything else that needs to be resolved?
I don't think so. I think those are the two really big outstanding questions that we had about Richard. And I think this is why, it's changing everything that we know about him, because we now have his tomb monument. We now have him sort of returned to us, if you like, in Leicester Cathedral. But also, this was always the big crime that was laid against Richard by the Tudor chroniclers who were writing in the 16th century. And we've completely exposed that and blown it out of the water. So I think in terms of Richard, it's kind of done. But I think what we would need to do is maybe look again at the reigns of Richard III and Henry VII in light of this new information.
And what's your next project, if anything, you've got on the cards? Are there any other prominent figures in British history that you think which bear a closer look at?
Well, I think one of the projects that's in the pipeline is there's a search for Henry I in a car park in Reading that might come off at some point shortly. But I think in terms of Richard, I've got another project on the cards, which is really exciting, but I can't tell you anything else about that at the moment. In terms of looking into other historical figures, do you know what? I would say the Tudor monarchs, I would say that they need to all be really looked at again and reevaluated and critically, by not repeating their propaganda, but by actually digging deep and doing the deep dive into the materials from their reigns, because I still think there's untold stories there.
I think you're absolutely right. And if the work that you've done in relation to Richard III is anything to go by, I think there is still plenty for us to learn. Philippa Langley, thank you so much for your time.